Welcome to another episode of Primo Talks. When it comes to life, you got to have those people around you who have those gifts and talents like you have in order for you to implement those things, so you know that the things that you're doing is moving you towards those goals, those dreams, those realities that you saw in your life. This is not the time for you to take a step back. It's a time for you to be teleported. This is a place where you can actually get the information that you need that you can implement today. Let's talk. Welcome back to part 2. Now, if you haven't watched part 1, you definitely want to watch that. If you haven't watched Monday or Wednesday show of this week from Primo Talks, I want you to go back, watch those, because that provides the foundation to what we're talking about right now. We did part 1. If you haven't seen that, definitely go back and watch that first before you watch this one, because it allows for you to not just have a foundation, but to build a house. The reason for this is this. We're having a financial conversation today. We want to make sure that you understand how to prepare yourself and what to do whenever we're dealing with a recession and a market crash. Now, remember, anytime we have a recession or market crash, we're looking at 2 consecutive quarters of lower GDP. That's what we have right now in June of 2022. We have 2 consecutive quarters of low GDP. We're in a recession, guys. The last recession we were in was actually during COVID. So let's go back through from 10 all the way down to the number 6, and then we go 5, 4, 3 to the number 1 position on the list of the greatest market crashes in the history of the United States of America. Let's look at it. We talk about the top 10 worst market crashes. Number 10 was COVID-19 pandemic, February 19th of 2022, all the way to March 23rd of 2022. It lasted literally 33 days. Number 9 on the list was computer trading at that was on August 25th of 1987 through October 19th of 1987. That lasted 57 days. Number 8 on the list is the World War II crash of October of 1939 through April 28th of 1942. That lasted 42 months. Number 7 on the list is the dot-com bubble plus 9/11. That lasted March 10th of 2000 to October the 2nd of 2002. Sorry, that was 26 months. That was back in 2002. That was a dot-com bubble plus 9/11. Number 6 on the list is the pandemic of 1907. That was January of 1907 through 11 of 1907. That was 11 months. Now let's go into 5, 4, and 3, 2, 1. This is important because it tells you how to be positioned. And some of these recessions, market crashes and recessions, when you have 2 consecutive quarters of GDP growth, declining growth, cause that recession in the market crash, then you want to make sure that what we're looking at now, knowing when that bull market is going to come. Because once we have if we break the cycle of 2 consecutive quarters, that could turn into a bull market, not a recession. Because a recession is 2 consecutive quarters, and it can continue to be low, 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 and it lasts a long time. Or we can break that and start to have 2 consecutive quarters of GDP growth and go back into a bull market. And that's where you want to know if you want to start a business, you want to take advantage of the market. That's the reason we have this financial conversation today, because it allows you to know how to move and where you at any given time. We're looking at make sure that you're gaining knowledge, and knowledge is a collection of truths, not one truth, because one truth is not enough information to make an informed decision. So we need a lot. Let's take this opportunity to look at number 5 on the list. Number 5 on the list is the continuation of the Great Depression. That's September 7th of 1932 to February 27th of 1933. The market dropped 46%, lasted 17 months. And just to kind of give you a bird's eye view to kind of get an idea, anytime we see a 30 plus decline, we're getting ready to go into a recession. Just so you guys you're looking for that 30%, because what we've seen from going from the pandemic all the way down into number 6, number 10 through 6, is we started seeing this 30 to 40%. Now we get right back into it in the continuation of the Great Depression. Market dropped 40.6. In 1907, it was 40.1. This is 40.6. Number 4 is the U.S. off the gold standard in Watergate. Nixon got impeached. The vice president went to jail on tax evasion charges. Gerald Ford, who was where Nancy Pelosi is right now, over top of the House of Representatives, Gerald Ford became the president, first non-elected president to become president. And at that same opportunity, what do we see to take place? We see a market drop of 48.2% that lasted 20 months. Next, number 3 on the list is the Great Recession / mortgage crisis. That was October 9th of 2007 through March 9th of 2009. The market dropped 51.1%. lasted 17 months. That's when we seen this bull market all the way to COVID, and that's when we had our next recession. So that's how long it was been, since 2009 all the way back to 2019 or 2022. That 33 days versus coming out of 17 months period of time. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the clues. 2 consecutive months of growth for GDP, and then we mean we're coming out of the recession. And we've seen that take place because this was a short recession here. Next, you have the New Deal, number 2 on the list. New Deal programs were cut and taxes was increased. Johnson was the president. This was March 6th of 1937 through March 31st of 1938. Market dropped 54.5%, lasted 13 months. And number 1, the Great Depression, September 3rd of 1929 to July 9th of 1932. The market dropped 89.2%, lasted 34 months before they saw the bull market. Now the bull market only lasted until right around, I believe it was right around to September 7th of 1932, because that's when they had a continuation. So it was a short market that came out of that, then boom, you're right back in it, because it ended in July and then back in September. So you had a growth in GDP, and then September it started another recession. So they had one little short break, could have made some money in the market or started a business, then back in it, and that lasted for 34 months. So just wanted to point that out to you guys, tell you what you need to do. Here's 3 things, because I think it's important that you need to know that. There's 3 things you need to do since we're in a recession. Number 1, watch your consuming. That's right. Watch what you're consuming. You should not be taking your entire paychecks every 2 weeks or once a week and consuming it all, that when the next paycheck comes, that's how you actually survive. You need to start at this particular point doing a rule that we're going to talk about in our next episode, called the rule of 11-11, or the rule of 12-50, or the rule of 13-50. These are all important because we're going to talk about what do you do to be able to save enough money to take advantage of the opportunities you do have now. Because a lot of you may be getting caught off guard. You wasn't even prepared for this. So you are shocked. Inflation's taking place. We just came out of the COVID. People still had those checks. Some people, not everyone, because most people spent those checks. They didn't actually take that check and grow that check. They took that check and enjoyed that check. Paid bills, which is not actually growing your wealth. So these are some of the things that people did, so they don't have access to that money anymore. But I'm telling you, number 1 is you've got to be able to watch your consuming. Number 2, go and look at your total debt. That's right. Go look at your total debt and then look at what you pay monthly. If you got more than one subscription, go through your budget and start firing subscriptions that are consuming your wealth. If you got Netflix and you got Hulu, choose one. If your kids have 2 activities, get them doing 1. I understand as parents, you're saying to yourself, well, my child's an athlete. I want to keep them as many opportunities as possible. I accept that. But we're in a recession. So the question will be, you want to be broke, or do you want to actually say that I gave my kids opportunities and I made myself even worse off because you're going to run. You can have a situation where it works out well and your emotions feel good, or you can keep cash in your pocket and everybody's good. It's your choice. And number 3, here's your number 3. Spend less time watching TV and more time looking at opportunities that can help grow your wealth. That's your number 3 you need to do. Spend less time watching TV. I don't care if it's on your cell phone, if it's on your laptop, if it's on your TV. Stop doing that. Sit down and start thinking and saying, what can I take advantage of when this recession is over? You may be saying to yourself, I want to buy a house. I need to tell you, that time is still there, but the interest rates are gone. They're increasing interest rates, and the Fed's going to continue to increase interest rate, which means that season of being able to buy more and pay less is over. Now you're going to be buying more and paying more. That season is over, guys. You had that opportunity, and that was from the coming into the decent when they lowered those rates. See, everything runs in a cycle, and you missed the cycle. Just like you're saying you missed the boat. Now, I use the example all the time. You find out for guys or girls, you switch whatever one it is. So if you're a guy and you like a girl, if you're a girl and you like a guy, and you just switch however you're going to interact with that. Here's my thing. If you never tell them that you're interested, you missed the boat. Somebody else going to take the prize. Well, when it comes to growing your wealth, if you only consume, you never told yourself, I want to actually make money with money. You just told yourself I can wait 2 weeks, I get paid again, I'll make it up. And I always tell people, your savings account is not child support for your checking. See, if you use your savings account as I save money, but yet when I misappropriate money, oh, I got a child support check that's coming called savings, you have the wrong idea of wealth. Now, there's a lot of episodes we got coming up that we're going to be just dealing with middle class zombieism, and we're going to really just deal with that in a dying world. The middle class individuals who is walking around as zombies, this destroys you. That's right, this destroys you because you're dead. You've been walking around as a zombie, feeding on consumption your entire. That's all you do is consume, 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 consume. And then the bad thing about it is after you continue to consume, you're broke. You live your entire life on that. So we're going to have a great episode. We're going to go over that information. But I'm telling you, if you never like, subscribed, or followed Primo Talks and checked out CFS Studios, because we have a lot of other content. We got some great directors, some short films coming up, and some documentaries on more information on what's going on in the society in which we live. You definitely want to hit the bell icon, like, subscribe, become one of stewards of the CFS Stewardship. Join our button, because there's a lot of episodes that you guys really don't see. You can only get it if you're a member. So go ahead and join that. It gives you some more in-depth, because for most people, their attention span is so short they can't even wear underwear because they need to wear thongs. And if that's your situation, then you definitely need to go ahead and join so I can show you how to focus so you can have clarity. Now, till next time, don't forget, you control your wealth, no one else. It is not outside of you, it's inside of you. And if your perspective is wrong, you only got a one-sided pancake. Till next time, have a great day.